Hi, Phanessa here. In this video, we're going to be making the Trelyss Slouch. So this is the latest slouch that I designed actually on our camp trip out on the coast. Okay, if you wanted to purchase the PDF, you can find links in the description box below. The pattern will be inside so you can follow along. Alright, let's talk about the materials that I'll be using. So this is the yarn I used for the Trelyss Slouch. This is Loops and Threads Charisma, and you can find these at Michael's. This is a category 5 and it recommends an 8mm crochet hook, and this is the color Holiday. So I'm just going to make a sample to show you how to pretty much adjust the pattern for whatever size you want to make. And in the PDF it explains how you need to adjust for this pattern as well. Okay, so just grab your tape measure because we will measure as we go. If you need a stitch marker, the pattern is written for joining the round. However, there's notes for working in a continuous round. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be working in a continuous round. Okay, so you'll need a pair of scissors. Okay, so you'll also need a tapestry needle. And for the crochet hook, since it recommends 8mm, I'm going to use 8mm for the top here. So if you're adjusting for weight yarn, whatever it recommends here, go ahead and use that hook size for the main body of the beanie. And then for the brim, you want to go 1 to 2 size smaller. So for the brim, I'm going to go with the 6.5 USK. Okay, so I'm going to use this size for the brim. Okay, so for the main body, I'm going to use the 8mm, which is what was recommended on the label of the yarn. So in the pattern, there is a head sizing chart. So when you're measuring for the size that you want, you're basically referring to this chart. This is just a standard size chart. Okay, so I added a pom that I purchased on Amazon. Okay, so if you're planning to make a pom with your yarn, you'll need a pom-pom maker. This one is an extra large. I like to just make huge pom-poms. So if you decide you want to make a yarn pom, go ahead and grab your pom-pom maker. And I'll leave a link for a tutorial on that, which I will not be demonstrating in this video. Okay, so for this one, I used just over 1 ball of yarn, and each ball has 109 yards. So if you were to make the yarn pom-pom, you would definitely need 2 balls. And this is sort of between a child and adult size, depending on the circumference of your head. So I fit this because it stretches out to about 21 inches and my head circumference is 21 inches. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with a slip knot. Okay, so hold on to your tail end and then take your working yarn, wrap it around your fingers all the way around, and then insert your crochet hook into the loop to grab the working yarn and pull it up. Okay, now you can tighten it. Okay, so we're going to chain as many stitches as we want for the width of the brim. Okay, so that's this size here. If you chain more stitches, your brim will be wider. If you chain less, it will be more narrow. Okay, so I'm just making a sample, so I'm going to chain about 5. Okay, so now you want to work 1 single crochet in every chain stitch back in this direction. So we're going to start with our second chain from the hook. So here's the first chain and there's the second chain. So you're going to insert your hook into the second chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through the 2 loops. Okay, so that's your first single crochet. Into the next chain stitch, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so I'm going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way back down. Okay, so I only have 4 chains. Okay, so you should have 1 less than the number of chain stitches you started with. Okay, so now we're going to start working on the brim. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, so we're going to now start working into the back loops of every stitch across. Alright, so here is the 2 loops that you normally work your single crochets in, or any stitch. This is your front loop here, and this is your back loop. So we're just working into the back loops to give it that ribbing effect. Okay, so right into the first stitch through the back loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so that's your first single crochet. Your next one through the back loops only, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so 1 single crochet in the back loops of every stitch across. If you're a beginner, go ahead and count your stitches at the end of every row just to make sure that you maintain the same stitch count. So I still have 4 stitches, and then you're just going to repeat this row until you have the desired circumference. Okay, so the top part of the body is worked in multiples of 6 stitches. So if you want to keep that in mind when you're working the brim, each row is going to be 1 stitch when you start working around for the top of your body. So if you want it to work in multiples of 6 for your brim, then it would make it easier for you to calculate the body of the beanie. However, it doesn't always work out well with trying to accommodate the stitch count in the brim, because it is 6 stitches is a large number of stitches to be adding or removing from the brim. It'll either be too big or too small, and if you get lucky it may be the perfect size. Okay, make sure you have an odd number of rows, which means you'll end on the same side as the beginning tail. Alright, so I have a sample here. I'm going to stop. I'm going to grab my tape measure. Okay, so I'm going to measure this, slightly stretch. I don't want to stretch it all the way, and I don't want to measure it just like that, because when you put it on your head you want it snug. Okay, so I'm going to place this end at the 0, and then I'm going to stretch it to about here to 10 inches. See, I can go to 11 or 12, but I don't want it that stretched out. So I'm going to go to about right here, which is where I feel comfortable with, and that measures about 10 inches. So when you seam the brim together, it's going to be a 10-inch circumference. Alright, so once you've completed your brim, you're going to grab the other end and then bring it so that it's in front of you, okay, like this. You want to hold together the short ends, and then you're going to insert your hook into the chain side first, so this side that's in front of you, and then through the back loops of the last row that you worked. Okay, just work a 1 slip stitch. Okay, the next stitch, and then the back loop of this side, you just want to work a slip stitch. Okay, so there is my 4 stitches. And turn it over so that the seam is on the inside. Okay, so now we're ready to start working our body. So I'm going to switch out my hook size for the larger hook, and then we're going to work 1 single crochet around the top of the brim. So wherever you stopped with your working yarn is going to be the top of your brim. Now this is where you want to work in multiples of 6 stitches. So if I count my brim, I have 21 rows. So 6 can only go into 21 3 times, and that gives me a few more stitches left. So what I want to do is increase. You always want to increase stitches to get the number of stitches you need, because if you decrease, it's just going to make the top of your body, of your beanie, the body portion, tighter, and you don't want that. Okay, so instead I'm going to work 24 stitches. I have 21 rows, but I'm going to work 24 stitches because that's in multiples of 6. So somewhere along this brim, you're going to work 3 extra stitches. You can calculate it to find out where you would place them, or you could just randomly place them so that they're not clumped together, just like, let's say, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. But if you really wanted to calculate it, you would say 21 divided by 3, because that's how many stitches you need to increase, is 7. Okay, so every 7th stitch you will work an increase. Okay, so I will demonstrate it with the way we calculate it so that those folks that like to calculate can see how that's all worked out. Okay, so to recap, multiples of 6 stitches around, I have 21 rows, but I need 24 stitches, so that's 3 extra. And I will work 3 extra stitches around. So the 21 rows divided by the 3 extra stitches is 7. So every 7th stitch I'm going to increase. Okay, so you want to chain 1. Okay, so right here where your chain 1 is, work 1 single crochet. So I'm going to place my stitch marker right here in the first stitch. And then right here where you see sort of the V's, you want to insert your hook into the very top V here, so this stitch, and work 1 single crochet. Okay, so right here in the lower part of the ribbing, you're going to insert through 2 loops on top. Okay, so go through both loops right there. If you go through one, there's a chance of holes in your work, so I would definitely go through 2. Okay, work your single crochet. So right here in the ridge, we're going to go into this top stitch here where it's like a V, okay, right in the middle, and work a single crochet. Okay, so that's, how many stitches is that? 1 2 3 4. And then I'm going to repeat until I get to the 7th. So that's 5, 6. Okay, so here is the lower part of the ribbing. That's the 7th stitch. We're going to increase by working 2 single crochets. Okay, remember to work through 2 loops. So there is the 7th stitch, and I'm going to work 1 more, and that is the 8th stitch. Okay, that's our first increase. So right there, I want to work 1 more. So if I work 7 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is where I'm going to increase the next one. Okay, so I want to work my last increase. So here is the first stitch of the round. I'm going to go directly into the first stitch and work a single crochet. So for the next round, we're working 1 single crochet in every stitch around. We're not joining the round. If you choose to, you can. You would work a slip stitch to this one here and then chain 1 and then continue around. Okay, so next round I'm going to insert my hook right into that first stitch and work 1 single crochet. Then I'm going to remove my marker and place it on that stitch that I just worked. Okay, so go ahead and work 1 single crochet all the way around for this round and the next round. So you will have 3 total rounds of single crochets. Okay, so I have worked 2 additional rounds of just single crochet stitches. Now we are ready to work the front post treble stitches. So this part here, okay, the raised stitches, this is the part that we are going to start working on. So this first stitch is going to be our front post treble crochet. You want to count over 3 stitches and then down 3 rounds. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this is the first single crochet round and you're going to work around this post. In order to work a front post treble, you're going to yarn over twice and then count over 3 stitches and then down 3 rounds. Right here is the single crochet that you're going to work around. So right under the post, and then you want to yarn over, pull up a loop, okay, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so now you have your first front post treble crochet. So because we worked a stitch here, we're going to skip this next stitch, but I'm going to place my marker on the front post treble. Okay, so skipping the next stitch, skip this one here, and then we're going to work 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to work another front post treble crochet. So we worked around this single crochet here. We're going to work into the one right next to it. Okay, so this one here, we're going to yarn over twice and work around the very next single crochet down here next to the last one. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So now we are going to work another one going in this direction. So count over 5 stitches because you want 4 in between this one and this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in this 5th one, we're going to work the front post treble crochet. Yarn over twice around the post, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. Now because you work these 2 front post stitches, you're going to skip the next 2 stitches. This is the last one we worked. 1, 2, and then we're going to work 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So the single crochet stitches are in 4s, and then the post stitches are in pairs. That's where your 6 stitches come in play with the pattern. So now we're going to work into this post here right next to the last one. Yarn over twice, work your front post, treble crochet, insert around the post, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Alright, so now we're going to work another front post treble crochet into the 3rd round below, and we're going to count and make sure that there's 4 stitches in between. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is the 5th one here, the lighter color. Yarn over twice around the post here, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then one more time, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we're going to skip 2, and then into the next 4 we're going to work 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. That's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that is your repeat. 1 front post treble over here right next to the last one worked, 1 front post treble, 5 stitches over this direction, still on the round 3 rounds below, and then you skip 2, you work 4 single crochets. Okay, repeat that all the way around. Okay, so we're at the end here, so we need to work 1 more front post treble right back in this direction, and then we will continue on here. Okay, yarn over twice around the post, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so this is going to be the start of your next round. You're just going to work 3 more rounds of just single crochet stitches. Okay, so right into the first stitch, work your single crochet, move your marker, and if you're joining, go ahead and slip stitch to join there, and then chain 1 and continue working single crochet stitches all the way around. When you get to the post stitches, you're just going to work your single crochet right on top, okay? Just like that. Okay, you ignore the 2 that you skipped down here, and then you just work right on the top. Okay, so I've worked rounds 5 through 7. That's just single crochets. Now we're ready for round 8. So we're going to work 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So the very first stitch, 1 single crochet, move your marker. Next stitch, 1 single crochet. Okay, so right here is where you're going to work your front post treble, and you're going to work your front post stitch right on top of this one here. Okay, so we're here, we want to work around the post 3 rounds below, and it's right above this stitch here. Okay, yarn over twice, and right above this stitch is the single crochet post that you want to work around. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so now we're going directly over here. So right above this one, and you can count 4 in between if you'd like, but you're going to work 1 front post treble right in here. That's 3 rounds below, and it's right above this one, and there's 4 stitches in between. Those are little notes that I make in my head to help me remember. Okay, so now we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and work 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Okay, so that is going to be 3 and 4. Okay, so now right here we're going to work above that one for the next post stitch, and it'll be right next to the last one that you worked. Yarn over twice around the single crochet post, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. So another front post treble right over here above this stitch, yarn over twice, and 3 rounds below, right above this one, you're going to work your front post treble. Okay, so that is the repeat around. Okay, skip 2, and then 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. Okay, now you work your set of front post trebles that go in this direction. The first one goes here, the second one goes in that direction. Yarn over twice, 3 rounds below, right around the single crochet post, work your front post treble. Okay, next front post treble over here, 5 stitches away, 3 rounds down. Skip 2, 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. Okay, so this is going to be my last set here. My stitch marker is right there. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to show you is that right where your round starts and ends, it's a little off. So instead of working right into the top stitch of this one, I'm going to go down into the actual stitch. So let me show you. Yarn over twice. Now instead of going up to this stitch here, which is the correct one if you're working the rest of the pattern, but I'm going to go down into the actual stitch, the top of this stitch here, and work around this one. Okay, I feel like that makes it more even. Okay, it looks better. Alright, so you're going to skip 2 and then 1 single crochet into the last, each of the last 2 stitches. So now we're just going to repeat round 1 to 8 from here up. Okay, so that's what you're going to repeat until you're happy with the height. End with either rounds 4 or 8. Now this is a slouch beanie, so I would go, for an adult it would be about 11 inches, and it also depends on how slouchy you'd like it. Okay, so I always say about 2 to 3 inches taller than a fitted beanie. Okay, so let's say this is the size you're happy with. We're going to go ahead and start our decrease. Okay, so the decrease is just 3 rounds. So for the decrease round, round 1, you're going to work 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then place your marker on that first stitch. Now we're going to work single crochet 2 together. So what we're going to do is decrease this stitch and this stitch, and in order to do that you're going to insert your hook and yarn over, pull up a loop. Okay, without completing your single crochet, you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so that's your single crochet 2 together. Okay, so now we're going to repeat 1 single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, repeat that all the way around. 1 single crochet, single crochet 2 together. Okay, I'm at the last 2 stitches. I've just worked my 1 single crochet, and I'm going to work my single crochet 2 together in these last 2 stitches. Okay, so for round 2 of decrease, you're just going to work 1 single crochet all the way around. Okay, so I am done with round 2. This is my last stitch. Now for round 3, you're going to repeat round 1. So you're going to work 1 single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. One single crochet, single crochet 2 together. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, so that is the end of your decrease. Now if you feel like your top is too large for you to close up comfortably, you can work round 3 one more time, or repeat round 2 and 3. So it's really up to you. This part is just going to be scrunched up and closed. Okay, so what you're going to do now is grab your scissors and cut your yarn, making sure that you have enough to weave through the top. Okay, so grab your tapestry needle, and first I'm going to run it through this last loop here just to secure it. And now you're just going to weave back and forth in the remaining loops. Okay, so in that way, back out the next loop, in the next loop, and back out the next loop. Okay, I just do this. Okay, it just goes faster. All right, so I am at the beginning again. So all you do is pull tight and close it up, and then you want to run the needle through to the inside and flip your beanie inside out. And then what I like to do is run it through the beanie some more on the inside, just kind of crisscrossing it to make sure that it stays closed. And then to finish it off, I insert my needle and then I grab the yarn and wrap it around twice and then pull it through. Okay, then you can weave in your ends. I'm just going to cut that off. And then don't forget to weave in the ends for the beginning tail. Alright, so if you're adding your pom, go ahead and do that. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe for future videos. I'll see you next time.